Bonjour, s'il vous plaît, Chappelle, Baron. I was practicing my French all of last night since some of you all were making fun of me. So, not to be outdone, I decided to practice a little bit. And I'm sure you can tell I practice a little bit. Okay. Ah! um, um, bienvenue. Yes, hello, Charlotte. Speaking of practicing my French, um, I don't know. It's something. What does it mean? Yes, bonjour, B10 pal. Um, yes, there's a Frenchman in town, or as they used to call me, an American in Paris. There you go. Yeah, I was practicing last night. Yeah, I didn't want you guys to think that I was well, let me see, what is the word? Oh gosh, it escapes me now, but yes, a bourgeois. I didn't want you to think that I was a bourgeoisie. S'il vous plaît, silence, everyone. Please, s'il vous plaît, silence. Let's move on. I know that word because I heard it a lot when I was in Paris. S'il vous plaît, silence, imbécile. I was like, oh, thank you. uh, okay, that might be some good advice. Okay. Well, hello, Connie Balmer. And let's see, welcome Lydia and B10 Powell, Elizabeth Daniels, and Espinoza. Let me see, Federline Wampak, Margaret Rulin. There you go. Sorry about that. Church Nellie, Francilia Mosley, Fancy, Pamela Porter, Ginger Lily, Donna Reese, Elaine Parker, Lori, Church Nellie again, Sestrin Cece, Diane Ware, Gwendolyn Daniels, Kiera, Annie Bullard. Annie Bullard, I don't know how you were blocked, but you were blocked yesterday, and thank you for saying so. And maybe there was a couple of other people that was blocked that I have brought back into the fold. You know, the dots on the side there where we get rid of the trolls, they're so close to the same thing that blocks and times out. So obviously there has been an error. Anyway, welcome back, and I do apologize for that. So I probably did that myself because I'm like multitasking here. Oh, you guys don't know. I was working up until the last minute because of the news that came out today from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Okay, I'm going to try to go full screen here. There we go. Harry and Meghan donate charities in Ukraine. Okay, I know it should be donate to charities in Ukraine or makes donate. But anyway, I was in a hurry, so I'll have to fix that later. But I do see that there is a mistake there. But thank you for not pointing it out. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I knew I got that one right. I heard it so many times. So yeah, so that's the big news of today is that the Sussexes have made a donation. Um since we're not in the middle of yesterday, let's give them a big check for this one, shall we? Check. If you want to, give them a big check. Okay, so there you have it. Prince Harry also um, got involved with the Halo Trust some time ago, and that is another thing that's going on in the Sussex universe. So there's another check for that one right there. Um, so why don't we start with the Halo Trust, shall we? Prince Harry was able to walk in his mother's footsteps. He actually donned on the very same type of outfit that was worn by his mother. It's like I believe it's a Kevlar type of apparatus, so that as you're clearing landmines, it will help to protect your eyes and your face. Yes, thank you for the checks for that, because the Sussexes are doing so many things right. They just can't seem to put a wrong foot, right? So there's Harry walking in his mom's footsteps, which is absolutely beautiful. If you look, there is a lane right there, a country road, a rural looking road, where the uh, Princess of Wales actually walked through that area. The Queen of Hearts, the Princess of Wales walked through that area. If you could see it today, it's actually a thriving business district. And I'm so sorry I don't have the alternative image of this, but that effort that she made right there helped to bring attention to all of the landmines that are in so many war torn areas, places where they've had civil war and strife. Well, Princess Diana was asked if she would bring attention to these devastating landmines, which have maimed and crippled so many people, and she did. And because of that, this area that you see right now, you wouldn't even recognize it today. There's shops, there's all type of businesses on that street. So thank goodness for the people's princess. And there are some of the victims of the landmines. And there's Princess Diana holding a child and surrounded by other children. These were just kids and adults making their way through an area which was familiar. It was home. And then next thing you know, um, fortunately, these are the survivors. Some people don't survive, but yeah, could you imagine that? Being in an area that you feel very safe, and all of a sudden you lose a limb, you lose your eyesight. So, all too common in certain places in the world. And of course, there's our Prince Harry. So, got a little something for you to watch first, and then we'll get back to that.
Hi Maria, hi Alessia. How have the last couple of weeks been?
So like life has turned upside down for the last more than like 2 weeks, and sometimes it seems to me that it's just a like nightmare, and I'm going to wake up soon.
I mean, you're saving lives every single day. I mean, I know you're part of Halo, so that's exactly what you signed up to do. I know that you're going to continue doing the work that is so desperately needed for Halo, for your families and for your country. How can we help? How can people help? What is the best way for people to help? Because there are so many people watching on feeling completely helpless.
Spreading the safety messages will help. The more people see them, the more people stay safe. You can donate to help our organization as well. That's also absolutely possible.
Thank you for being so brave and being so amazing, and well done.
It's the least we can do. Thank you.
Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep saving lives.
So there you have it. If you are interested in any of the charities that are sponsored or supported by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex via the Archwell Foundation, please go to the Archwell page. That is the best place to go to make sure that you are linking to a proper working site, and that whatever donations that you are making will go to the actual charities or foundations. And that way you don't have to worry about clicking on the wrong link, or perhaps going to some, crowd funding source like GoFundMe, which sometimes GoFundMe, there are fraudulent claims of needs for support there, and only to find out that it was just somebody grifting. And the only way to bypass that and just go directly to the charity is to go to the Archwell page. Although I have to say, in defense of the GoFundMe page, when they do find out there's fraud, they weed it out almost immediately. They will return the money and everything. So I don't want you to be afraid to use the GoFundMe page because they do a good job when complaints are made. Okay, so again, that is something that was advocated by the Princess of Wales, the People's Princess, and Harry was able to walk in his mom's footsteps. And just to remind us of how close the bond between mother and son was and continues to be in a whole nother dimension, um, I shared those few photos with you. So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry donates to charities, that is, in Ukraine. Thank you for being so brave. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex also paid tribute to Invictus Games athlete um, Serhii Karavan, I believe that's how you pronounce it, who died while fighting against Russian forces. So I believe the Sussexes were greatly moved by this tragic loss of someone who I believe was supposed to compete at the Invictus Games. So please do go to the Archwell page at your leisure, but do it today. Go to the Archwell page because there's a ton of information about the aid to Ukraine. They issued, yeah, it was today. They issued a news update, and it's coming directly from the Sussexes. So that way you know that it is authentic, and you can learn so much more information about that. So with that, let me see if there is any comments before I move on. Well, let me see. Fancy Wilson wants to say, hi, everyone. Happy Friday. The last few days haven't been the best. Husband has been in hospital, but he's getting out today. Hope you all have a great weekend. Well, Fancy Wilson, we will keep you in our prayers and all the best to you and your husband. We will pray for him as well, because here at the Royal Sussex and the rest of the Sussex squad, one thing I love about this community is that we keep one another in our prayers. And let's see. I will go to the Archwell page and donate. Thank you so much, B10 Pal. That is the best place to start, I believe, is to go directly to their page. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, through their nonprofit Archwell Foundation, have made donations to a number of organizations working on the ground to support people of Ukraine, including HIAS, which is HIAS, the Halo Trust, and of course, the coalition of Ukrainian media such as the Kyiv Independent, supporting through the organization Are We Europe? And then we are also continuing to work with partners at World Central Kitchen. Apparently, World Central Kitchen has set up at the border between Poland and Ukraine. So that way they can, have food available to people on both sides of the border. I believe that's how it works out. But anyway, um, cheers to World Central Kitchen. They do great work. And then, of course, there is the World Health Organization to assist with the global and local humanitarian response to the crisis. And finally, our hearts are heavy as we acknowledge the recent loss of a member of our veteran community in Ukraine who was defending his country from attack. We also pay tribute to the brave men and women from our global veteran community, past, present, who have long protected their communities and families with unparalleled strength and determination. We are continuing to work and speak with the Invictus Games Foundation daily to help however we can. All of us at Archwell have been inspired by the work of these organizations, have taken on, and also by the stories from those on the front line. We are sharing some of these stories below in case you will be moved to take action. If you are able, we hope you will support or amplify their effects. Take action to help the people of Ukraine. So that is on the Archwell page. And then after that, it continues with more information about all of the organizations that I just mentioned. So thank you for that. And thank you for giving me your time to listen. And we'll move on to some other topics. And thank you, B10. I'm so glad that you're with us today because I know that you work very hard. So thank you for being here. Beverly Hardy wants to say hi to some people, and I always love to help out, so I'll leave that there for now. Okay. And Lydia says, no, Elaine Parker says, my granddaughter is in labor, hoping for a new baby soon. Elaine Parker, what a miracle. I love that. I love that. It's almost like in the midst of everything that's going on in the world, what brings more, I guess, positivity, what brings more hope than the birth of a child? So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's all pray that everything is uneventful and that another miracle is brought to the world. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let me see if yes, all right. So that was it for that slide, and on to the next. Okay. Well, let's go here. I'm going to change gears just a little bit, but I tell you what, let me leave this here for just a moment while I take a glance at some more comments before we move on. I can't say enough wonderful things about the Sussexes. They are truly God could only, they are truly God could not have put two beautiful people together as man and wife who truly love each other and do his remarkable work. Thank you, Audrey Davis, for reminding us of that. Okay. Let me see. Happy Friday, everyone. God bless our prince and princess, and blessings to the families who have lost loved ones. We all have to support each other. Hi, Baron. You two have a blessed day. Shalom. Well, thank you, Prudence Montague. Shalom. And Lahaim. All right. Okay. Joe Blogs, let me see. You continue to get better. And yes, Ivy will enlighten and educate everyone. Emma D, please don't make me do it because I'll do it. I will do it. Okay, hold on. Let me take a sip of water. I make it sound like it's such a burden, but I love to do it. Okay, are you ready? Here goes. Hello, Ivy here. When you say Ivy, that's a trigger. I just have to do it. Hello, Ivy here. And you all know how much I love Ivy. Okay, so yeah, so you know what? I'm trying to hydrate because I believe, yesterday was the last of my antibiotics, so I definitely need the hydration. You got to flush those antibiotics through your system, and I'm feeling so much more energetic today than I did a week ago. So thank you for reminding us all to hydrate. Okay, so with that, I see that there is nothing more to say about this for now. Well, we could revisit this later if you guys have any additional comments. So let's move on. Okay, so here's a little reminder. I don't know how it went for you guys yesterday, but remember, March 17th is over. Please resume your normal nationality. See you all May 5th when we are all Mexican, meaning that as we have appropriated these holidays to celebrate things like nationality or ancestry, we here in the Western industrialized world seem to forget the actual meaning of things like St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's Day, and of course, May 5th is what? Cinco de Mayo. And that is when a lot of people are going to go out and overindulge, forgetting exactly what May 5th means to Mexican Americans and the people of Mexico. So as we celebrate these things, I hate to sound like somebody's mama, but please make sure that you understand the meaning of these days. It's not just a day to go out and overindulge. We are supposed to. Are y'all even listening to me? Oh, okay. Well, if not, then I'm sure that you are at least picking up on the spirit of what I'm saying. So, okay. That's enough of my what do you call it? Lecturing about the meaning of holidays. So, are we ready to move on? Okay, Lydia. Now, the thing is, please don't ask me what May 5th is because I don't know. With all of that being said, I have no idea what May 5th is. I hadn't a clue. Like most people, I just make sure that I yell Happy Cinco de Mayo and then I move on. So, no, I mean, I know a little bit, just enough to get by. if that's if that doesn't sound if that doesn't sound tacky enough, I don't know. I mean, okay, the Cinco de Mayo is the 5th of May, is an annual celebration held on the 5th, which commemorates the anniversary of Mexican victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. See, I knew that. I just affirmed my knowledge of it by going to Wikipedia. So you see what I mean? Now, aren't you all ashamed? All the youth that have gone out and celebrated and had no idea what it was for. I can see y'all don't care, so I'm moving on to the next one. All right. So now we all know what Cinco de Mayo is, and I'll see you all at the bar. Have you guys seen this already? Have you all seen this? Well, yesterday I was inspired thinking about the, um, I guess, royal tour of the Caribbean, and I thought, gee, Baron, you're kind of tacky. How else could you acknowledge that than to turn to the ladies of the help again? So the Caribbean Welcoming Committee be like, this pie is for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Sorry if you're on your lunch break, but yes, try Minnie's pie. What is it? Bed knobs and broomsticks. That's my nickname for them. Try a little bit of Minnie's pie, shall you? So that is my way of dealing with the fact that apparently they are not going to cancel said trip to the Caribbean. They're going to continue. I'm sure it's nothing that other people haven't already thought of. But yeah, anyway, this was a big hit on Twitter, so I thought I would share it here. So let me see. That was too funny, Baron. They will never eat pie again. I could understand that. Rosa Roberts says hello to a few people. All right. Oh, great. Yeah, Elaine, I had that Instagram for a while and I wasn't really using it, so I'm trying to get more involved with it. You know, if only to be tacky like this, I'll do it. All right, so moving on. Here is one of my favorite people in the world, Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, as you know, ran for governor in Georgia, and she's one of those people that I don't know how else to put it. You have to cheat her to beat her. So Stacey Abrams has done more to get out the vote of underserved, underprivileged communities, as well as in general the Black community, which is not always an impoverished community. There are a lot of thriving African American communities across the country, but you wouldn't know it watching the evening news, which is why I avoid it. But there are some wonderful communities of color across the country. Some of them are African American communities. However, one thing that they all have in common is that because of gerrymandering, there's I guess, a movement to block or impede African American votes all across the country. And so, one of the most powerful weapons during the last presidential election was Stacey Abrams. So, Stacey Abrams had a plan to get out the vote. And that is how we have two United States senators that happen to be Democrats from Georgia, is because of the magnificent Stacey Abrams. I just love the fact that she has become not just a force for good, a force for change. She has become a cultural icon, a national treasure when it comes to a fair and clean election. So that's why I love her so much. And as I said, as she has reached icon status, you can see that there are 101 memes out there like this one where they recreated the Rosie the Riveter. And you can see the badges that she has on there. There's Senator Warnock, and there's John Ossoff. And then there's another one that is for Get Out the Vote. And then the button that she wears on her lapel says Georgia something. I can barely make it out, but you can see it has the D for Democrats. So anyway, I love her to pieces. Really, really love her. And there she is right there in another promotional photo. But there's some big news that's come out in the last 24 hours about Stacey Abrams. She has managed to find her way into the Star Trek universe. There she is right there on Star Trek Discovery. So she had a cameo appearance, and people were not sure. A lot of people were shocked. People had no idea that this was in the works. And then all of a sudden, there is a very familiar face, Stacey Abrams, on Star Trek. So again, she has she has elevated her profile yet again. And another amazing thing that has happened for her. So who would have ever thought that Stacey Abrams would find herself out there in the universe? I never watched Star Trek, so I probably would only ever watch this episode just to see her. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. It was kind of a nice surprise, right? Let me see. Whatever ridiculous PR plans that Baldylocks and Captain Kangaroo have is going to backfire on them big time. Let us hope so. Okay, so we covered this. Initially, I was going to, as a matter of fact, I read this already, so I was going to cover this at a different area today, but then I decided to just go ahead and read it earlier when I spoke about the donation. Now, sorry, trigger warning. I forgot to give you a trigger warning. But one of the squatties, oh my goodness, I can't see that. Well, you could just barely see up there at the top. Meghan really tried to rescue Thomas in her deposition against Daily Mail on Sunday. She never once condemned him for staging those pics. Instead, she said he was the victim of UK tabloids, but the old man decided to side with UK tabloids, right? So today, one of the squatties reminded us, and I'm so glad, she reminded us that Meghan did try to help Thomas, and we may know that, somewhere filed in the back of our mind, seeing that so much has happened. Well, here's just another reminder that she did try to help him. Now, of course, Thomas Markle all over the place, but let the record stand that the Duchess of Sussex initially tried to help, even though Thomas Markle made a mockery of everything that she attempted to do for him. And of course, there was the things that happened with between himself and Harry, which if you look at that photo with his arms crossed, I don't know if you guys recognize that pose, but that is the one. I can't tell you what reaction I have when I saw him, what reaction I had when I saw that, but it was nothing nice. It was one of those things where I could get myself in trouble if I told you what my gut reaction was when I saw him doing that. But that is a terrible, awful, awful person, Thomas. Terrible, terrible, awful person. Yeah, it is like a coffin pose, and look, not a minute too soon, right? Awful person, terrible, terrible, awful person. Um, he was making a mockery of Harry because of the me you can't see with the self therapy thing. But if you notice, there's a can on the table. Now he kept his hands cupped around that can during that interview, which I did watch. And finally, he turned it away from the camera because remember, he was upset because he didn't want people to think that he just sat around and drank beer all day. So he cupped his hand around the can during most of the interview. And then finally, when it was time for him to follow the talking points given to him by the tabloids to make fun of Harry, then he finally raises his hands up to his chest like that. It was awful, and yeah, that's all I can say. I have so few words that I can say without saying how I really feel because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, I can't say anything. But yeah, that's it. But that thank you for the reminder on Twitter. Like that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. So gosh, I'm getting through these slides very fast. Okay, let's move over here. Children as props again. Using those children as props again. There is the Duchess of Cambridge posing with someone's child, hand on head. Hi, Sonia Johnson. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm in New York for a few days and plan to visit Melbuzz. Yes, I'm jealous. Going to have one of my write and delete moments. This photo of Thomas really upsets me. I understand. I forgot the order in which things were. That's why I was like, oh my God, trigger warning, trigger warning. So, wow, I didn't realize that. So allegedly, we have to throw allegedly in there for $1,500. And the thing, I thought it was just a case of beer, but okay. Oh, let me see. It saddens me that Thomas has hurt Meghan. They did have a close father-daughter relationship. His betrayal of her brings tears to my eyes. I pray for Meghan. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you for saying that. He continues to mock Harry. Whoever told him is a good thing to do played him for a fool. Thomas Markle is from the dregs of society, a lowlife. Yep, that is quite obvious. Yeah, I wanted to take his photo away as soon as possible. I'm sorry I missed your comments, everyone. Yeah, I understand, Jean. Okay. Denise Marcus says, Harry had the me you can't see, and Thomas had. I know Diane Hawkins. I totally forgot about the order of everything, and it just popped up. I'm like, oh, trigger warning, trigger warning. Sorry about that. Cookies and Cream says, not only was Tugboat Thomas mocking Prince Harry, he was also mocking mental health. You know, cookies and cream, you're absolutely right. I was kind of blind to that part of it because of the fact that I was thinking only of Harry at the time. But you're right, he was mocking the struggle for mental health for millions of people who struggle with that. So thank you for that reminder. Okay. What else we have here? Tash Max said, just arrived and I immediately disgusted that this woman is treating a child the same way she treated a dog at the same event. Yeah, I saw that big whatever Irish hound or whatever it was. But you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, she had just yeah. I tell you, I should have likely have put a trigger warning on this one, but it is a disgusting display that she has oh, and they never consider the fact that that entire family has been exposed to someone with the pandemic. I can't say the other word, but William has had it, Charles, Camilla. They have never said anything about Duchess Doolittle one way or the other. However, I guess you would have to live in the same house to have been exposed in the same way. So maybe she hasn't had it because, people say that they don't actually live together, they just show up at the events. I can't imagine how happy Harry and Meghan are that he never met Thomas and shook his hand. God, make a mistake. Never makes a mistake. Thank you. Connie Barmer says, Sonia, you are going to Melba's a lot of food. What's that? A late of food to Switzerland, please. Oh, you want her to send a plate of food to Switzerland, right? Got that. Got that. Church Nelly, thank you for saying things the way that I'm thinking it. Not exactly the same language, but yeah, the inflection is there. Where is the insect when you need them? With her flycatcher mouth. Yeah. So, as I was just saying, the lack of face mask, right? Okay, sorry, let me look at this one. Thomas and Samantha are being used by the British tabloids and their money too hungry, even care how sad. They are money hungry and they are willing participants for the tabloid press. I pray Thomas backfires when backfires. He doesn't expect Meghan to come to his rescue. I hope those tabloids setting him up to fail don't come for Harry and Meghan either. Got it. Got it. Let me see. Oh, wow. I am way far behind in the scroll here. Dolores Sims, Thomas called the royal family a cult and all kind of names and said the royal family and Harry and Meghan owe him. It's time to take care of daddy. Oh, I almost barfed when I heard him say that. Now it's time to take care of daddy. I was like, ugh, ugh. I was dry heaving when he said that. That was just the most repulsive thing I'd ever heard. Okay. This is the closest that Kate will ever come to Harry and Meghan's children. The little girl is a prop. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that, but yeah, that is the visual prop needed to make it seem like she really cares to be close to the Sussexes or their children for that matter. Yes, those imbeciles, Thomas and his son and Samantha are depraved, Kuchers? uh, Compliments of the British tabloids. That's right. That's right, Charlotte. We muy bien. Yes, I got that. Um, and so on that same topic, I saw this. Um, oh, that's interesting. Let me see that. I'm not a racehorse. Sharon Osbourne has joined Pig Morgan on his show. Huh. Both of these losers were kicked off of American TV and are trying to be relevant again. Has-beens. Marshar, boy, I tell you, you are on top of it. You get all the information first. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to start following you just so I can know what's going on. Bad optics sending live-in ex-wife to kindergarten. Did Andy ask her to look over an up and coming youth? Well, this is why I snatched this photo out of the air. Notice there she is with other people's children, mask in hand. And this is just one photo. I believe these were children who were displaced by the war in Ukraine, but there she is, mask in hand. There were several other photos, mask in hand. There are parents and there are caretakers wearing their mask. But for the optics, she took her mask off. That family is allegedly, possibly, and most likely, look at me banging on my desk, is crawling with the pandemic. Why do they keep putting their faces in everybody else's face, in particular, children? And sure, they're supposed to. Do you guys realize that I was only tested for the pandemic? I was only tested maybe a month ago. I avoided the test because I didn't want nobody sticking nothing up in my nose. So I avoided the test as long as possible. I had no symptoms the entire pandemic. So I avoided the test and I had all three of my shots, right? I avoided the test, but I finally had to take one. And when I did, it wasn't so bad. But for some people, it is the worst thing in the world. Some people have a really bad experience. So, do you all really believe that the entitled elite, top of the aristocracy royal family, do you guys believe that they willingly take those tests every day or every time they go out to do these photo ops? I don't believe it. I don't believe it to be true. And one of the reasons why you know that they are constantly exposed is because they refuse to wear their flipping mask. Pardon my language. But this is just another, um, I guess, clue that they only care about themselves and they only care about the photo op. And then, of course, given the texture of that face of hers, all up in those kids' face. Ugh. Anyway, if I weren't blocked by KP, I would tweet at them never to pat black children like dogs, to never touch black kids without permission, especially their hair. Amen to that one. Okay, both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has really dysfunctional fathers, but really amazing mothers. Amen for that too. Amen. Okay. Believe me, Thomas going to be calling Megan's name humbly after he closed his pathetic, sagging, sick eyes. God's going to see to that on that old 70-plus-year-old devil man. His demise will be Audrey, I know you're upset. I know you're upset, but please try not to let it get to you. I understand. It's awful, and there's an instant trigger that all of us squatties have when we see Thomas Markle, but try to, you know, don't let it get to you like that. Okay. Can you imagine how Harry and Meghan's children would be treated by the royal family? I try not to think about it, but yes, I could imagine. Why don't someone tell this fool to put a mask on, dimwit? Well, the one on the screen has it in her hand, right? If that's the one you're referring to. On her part, I think she truly cares. I I believe Fergie is a very nice person, but this is a photo op. The mask is in her hand. And whether she cares or not, have you guys seen the king and queen of Spain, Philippe and Letizia of Spain? They always wear their mask. They go out and do their royal duty and service wearing a mask. There's no reason why the Windsors can't do the same. The Windsors are implying that life is completely normal. And as for the Queen, given her age and her fragility, the fact that the Queen goes about and greets people without a mask on for the sake of optics, it encourages other people who may be older or perhaps frail for other reasons to do the same. So I would love to give her a free pass on this, but no, put your mask on. We don't know the status of these children or the other adults in the room, and they just keep doing this. I don't think it's fair to impose that on strangers. Let me see. Don't know this story. Someone say something, please. I don't know that one either. Baron, days before they arrive, nothing is being said to promote their tour. The tour, rather. Strange. Only thing that PM said yesterday was that he is setting up a committee to look into the move to sever ties. Nice, nice. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. So rather than promote this awful trip by the Cambridges to the Caribbean, there is a committee to discuss severing ties with the UK. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That makes me smile on a Friday, considering what her husband was accused of and how she supported him. I'm shocked she is allowed to go near other people's kids. It, you know what? I wouldn't even care or bother to say anything about what that family does, except for one thing. Because of the Sussexes, that's the only reason why I take notice of them. The other thing is the tabloids constantly go after Americans like the president, the vice president, the first lady, um, the Stacey Abrams. They go after all levels and individuals in the United States who happen to have a D before or after their name, or who they assume is a Democrat or left leaning or whatever, for not wearing a mask in public spaces. However, the royal family, who have been confirmed to have been in the midst of the pandemic again and again, they give them a free pass. So that's why I am pointing this out. She seems to be rounding kids up in a pen. The virus is bad enough, but Fergie goes home to Andy, who only recently paid off fee for being connected to the. Do they hire PR? I don't think that they listen to him. I don't not that they don't have him, but I don't think they would listen anyway. This was just too tempting to try to turn their fortunes around. So moving right along, there's Fergie right there in a chaise lounge, which is why I have nicknamed her Sarah Tosuck Ferguson. Let us not forget her how do I say this? How she sometimes gets confused about what is proper and improper behavior as a duchess or as a princess of the realm and so on. So I would like to believe that she's this nice, caring person, but at the same time, get your face away from those kids without your mask on. We don't know where you've been, lady. Yes, thank you so much for that. Over 730 people in the chat with 266 likes. Please hit the like button. Happy Friday to everyone, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Let me see. Here's a couple is fulfilling their ongoing duties and service has been universal. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, I am so far behind. I'm going to do like a deep scroll after I see what Cookies and Cream has to say here. It's not hard to believe. Look at how the unroyal family are treating the Sussex kids now. They're delegitimizing them now in every way possible. The Sussexes need to stay away from them. Amen. Okay, this is the most recent. The public is pressing the issue. He can't ignore. They need it to happen for our 60th anniversary in August. Yeah, so that makes sense if they do it by then. It's a nice round number. And I believe is it the prime minister in Jamaica that was awarded that very colonial looking medal from the Queen? This one I read somewhere that the prime minister has one of these, but he won't wear it any longer because of that very oh, sorry about that. This is what I need to have because of the image that you see there. So I believe that this was awarded to the prime minister of Jamaica. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know. But it's said that he has one, but he will no longer wear it in public because of the optics. All right, moving right along. Let me get rid of this. Okay, that goes away. And next, Meghan Markle will release her first Spotify podcast this summer. The long-awaited and highly anticipated new show from the Duchess of Sussex now has a release date. So this was written by Carly Ledbetter, one of the squatties, I forget who, mentioned this yesterday. It happened just as we were about to leave Royal Sussex for the day. But now, of course, it's everywhere, only to be outdone by their charitable donation announced today. But yes, this happened yesterday. First Spotify series is finally headed to the airways. An Archwell audio spokesperson confirmed to HuffPost in the statement on Thursday that the Duchess of Sussex will release her first podcast series this summer. The highly anticipated new show comes from Archwell Audio, an offshoot of the couple's foundation and their exclusive partnership with Spotify. So there you have it. It is finally in the works. Now, of course, the tabloids are asking, where's Harry? I am sure Harry will actively participate. We don't know what the contract says, whether or not it specifies that it's one Sussex, the other Sussex, or both. But for now, it has been announced that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, will release her first Spotify podcast this summer. And that's all the tabloids need to know. Of course, they're going to dig and try to conflate and find some reason to believe that something nefarious is going on. But whatever the case is, the check has cleared. The Sussexes have a 11 million pound mansion with 16 bathrooms, security, and lots of quote unquote Hollywood friends. So who cares? I'm glad they're safe. I'm glad they're thriving in California. And so now we're going to have a chance to see the Spotify. So haters and derangers that are listening, the Sussexes are winning. And that's all I care about. You got it? That's all I care about. So go back to your little man caves or back to your mama's basement or wherever you're dwelling and hating those middle-aged people that are here in America that are hating on the Duchess of Sussex. Next time you have your little coffee clutch, remember to tell your friends, if they're fellow haters, that Royal Sussex said the Sussexes are winning. That's all to it. The check has cleared. Archie's in a good school, right? The popularity of Montecito is off the charts, and other rich, privileged people are moving into the community so that they can have friends. HRH, His and Her Royal Highness, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Princess Meghan. I'm trying to think of every like trigger that I can mention that is going to cause the haters' heads to explode. Did you guys know that the Duchess of Sussex is a princess of the realm? That is her working title, is Princess of the Realm. And so every so often, there's something that they call passive aggressive, where you just kind of say something because you know it's going to trigger the haters. So every so often, I like to remind the haters, and then they'll get like real crazy. They'll say, no, they're not. They were stripped of their titles. I mean, it's just incredible. And yes, I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm sorry. I just get a little frustrated, and I like to cut up and let loose by reminding them that the Sussexes have promised never to use HRH for the purposes of commerce, which they are not. For the purposes of commerce, they are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Not HRH. They are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which is okay because trust me when I say this, most Americans don't know and don't care what the difference is. They just know that that's Harry and Meghan. That's their brand, Harry and Meghan. The titles are an afterthought, haters. That's an afterthought. But it happens to be quite relevant on the other side of the Atlantic. And so I just like to remind you guys that they are still royal. They are still His and Her Highness, and Meghan is still a princess. Okay, I got that off my chest. Your thoughts, please. Oh boy, the squad will be eating well come summer. Can't wait. Yum. Oh yes, hit the like button, please. Thank you. Church Nelly, Anastasia, Cookies and Cream, and Mo Shannon off to a meeting. Have a great day. Oh, Lydia's leaving us. So, moderator, Lydia Washington, has just passed the torch to the other moderators. So, thank you again. And I hope you have a very productive meeting. Happy Friday to you, and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Lydia. Okay. God bless our Sussex family and Mother Doria. Hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. And hip, hip, hooray for our blessed Sussex family and our Mother Doria. Hip, hip, hooray. Jacqueline Squash, thank you. Jacqueline is like the chaplain of Royal Sussex. She always knows exactly what to say. Okay, I wait to see. Started ranting about. Oh, so that is Piers Morgan, I think, not Prime Minister. To Sharon and see how she responds. She is going to get a right royal roasting for whatever she says. Well, I guess it was just a matter of time that the two of them got together, because the last time I saw Sharon Osbourne, she was walking some hobo around a supermarket. Some people said that was her husband, but to me it looked like some disheveled old vagabond that she picked up off the street. But whatever. Okay, Little Bell Grant says it is only in the UK that people think these titles and honors are relevant. I live in the UK and don't give a rat's behind about these medals and titles. Absolutely. Okay, the UK Rangers are bitter because they thought Harry and Meghan want to break up with Spotify. They are surprised to hear the good news. Well, the tabloid press has been speculating for quite some time that Spotify was angry with them and they haven't honored their contract. One thing I recently learned is that there is a bidding war for personalities, and that these content creators, or should I say streaming services, they all compete for the big names. Sometimes it's not even so important that the person has content ready and available. What's important is that you have that is part of your overall portfolio of famous people, of celebrities, of politicians, of whatever, of royalty. Right? You have that as part of your collection, and so I believe there was likely a bidding war to see who could get the Sussexes as part of their streaming service. So Spotify, as they say, the man with the last word is the man with the deepest pockets, decided to take on the Sussexes. Now, since that time, a child was born. And since that time, the Sussexes have settled into a new home. And so they'll get to it when they get to it. So it has just been announced that they got to it. And that's all that matters. So you guys don't pay attention to the tabloid hate campaign against the Sussexes. We need to keep a watchful eye so we can throw our receipts out there, but please don't let it get the better of you, because what the Sussexes got that ain't nobody else got is a Sussex squad. We got them. We'll be listening to Spotify because they want to gas hot air, of course. Let me see. Meghan must let her haters know that and go tired to see her face, but they can get her out of their racehorses. Thank you for that. Okay. Next, let's go on to the next slide. So, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry going against the world. I saw this yesterday. Apparently, the article came out on the 16th. So, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry going against the world is what it says. I've never heard of this before, international news, but that is where the story ran. So it says, experts believe Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are going against the entire world as a team just to live life on their own terms. Duh, you think so? Royal biographer and author Nigel Cawthorne has made his claim in interview with OK. During the chat, Cawthorne admitted, is Harry and Meghan against the world or them against the British establishment? But when the couple goes through a shared problem, it does tend to make them stronger. Another commentator, Katie Nichols, later noted how Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's life has changed over the last 4 years and told the outlet, in only 4 years they have been on an extraordinary journey, making such huge decisions. But as Harry said, they are in it together as a team. She went on to add, when you think about it, what they've turned their backs on, what they've given up, and particularly the sacrifices Harry has made, it's just as well they're such a strong unit because they've only really got each other. Okay, so there was a few digs in there, ever so slight but persistent insults. But one thing is for sure, Yes, they got each other. Yes, they have been made stronger. So, yes, I'm glad that people have gotten the message that the Sussexes are resolute in their strength and love and devotion for each other and their family, and that they are still winning. That's all I care about, is that they're still winning, that they are striving and thriving, that they're not just living under the oppressive regime of the Mountbatten-Windsor family over in Narnia. They have a life away from that. They have, I mean, just given today's headlines about that donation that is going to take over the news cycle. And this is why the tabloids are really getting all wound up and on the attack, because the optics for the Cambridges are potentially a disaster once they go to the Caribbean. But the Sussexes, as I said, they just can't seem to put a foot wrong. They are outdoing the Cambridges at every turn, and that is frightening and frustrating to them. And so the people over there at the KP, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, are feverishly, or should I say, allegedly, working in tandem with the tabloid media to try to put a positive spin. As they say, they're trying to polish a turd. So they're trying to make the Cambridges look good. And the only way that they could possibly sell that to the public, that the Cambridges are exceptional people, is they have to try to tear down the Sussexes. So far, it's not working. In particular, in the United States, we see right through that malarkey, and the Cambridges are pretty much seen, especially with William and his mouth, William's gaffes, his faux pas. They cannot cut the mustard, and everybody knows it. So it won't stop them from trying. Just know that it will not stop them from trying. They are going to do their best to try to make the Sussexes look bad and to try to make these look like they're exceptional people. Good luck with that. Let me know how it works out. Let me see what your thoughts are before I move on. I am going to pause and take a sip of water, and I'll be right back. Almost. Okay. Thank you for your patience. And let me see your thoughts. Baron, hope you could be on Madam Duchess podcast. Oh, I don't think that would work out. I could see that there would be potentially a couple of problems with me actually talking directly to the Sussexes. So I hope that never happens because of several things. Like, for instance, how would I ever explain my theory about Camilla becoming a queen consort once the queen is gone? How could I ever explain that? Like, for instance, what if, for whatever reason, they ask me about Philip? Philip? I knew I saw Philip. What if somebody ever asked me about that? Or about, yeah, thank you, Mary H., but probably not a good idea. Okay, and you go on to say, tell us about your travels, your days of being chocolate thunder. Oh, you want to hear about my male exotic dancer days, right? I, for one, love your travels. Well, thank you, Mary H. You are very, very sweet. Thank you for saying that. Okay. Let me go on here. All right, all right. Let me see. Prince William said all they have to offer is a wave and a smile every now and again. I remember that. while the Sussexes contribute real money to help the Ukraine. Yes, 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 to help Ukraine. Um, or I'm sorry, the Ukrainians, I believe is what you're trying to say, to help the Ukrainians. Um, exactly. And it is going to cause a slight embarrassment for the Cambridges. And the only reason why I say slight is because there are so many people who are sycophants for them, who are hardcore royalists, that they will overlook it because they'll say, well, they're not supposed to be political anyway. Well, whatever. But we all know that the Sussexes have pretty much taken the news cycle as their own, which is not the point of it. I'm not saying that the Sussexes just want the attention. This is the work that they were born to do. I believe they were destined for each other. It is me that is petty enough to say they won the news cycle, and I'm glad for it. But I'm the one to say that, not the Sussexes. They don't look at it that way. They don't need that extra attention. They just want to do the work. So I'll be the petty one to say they won, even though I shouldn't. But I'm just sorry. I hate a bully, so I love that the Sussexes are thriving and that they're getting the notoriety they deserve. So that's all. Katie Nichols, the same royal expert who demonized the couple for 4 years, would like to see that Katie donates some funds she received by using this couple as her cash cow. True, true, and true. Jacqueline says, yes, they have Almighty God on their side. Their relationship was not and is not a happenstance. Our God knew them before they were conceived in their mother's womb, as the book of Jeremiah says. Jacqueline, Jacqueline, I have my hand over my heart and I'm feeling the warmth of that. Thank you so much. Gosh, I just love Jacqueline. Okay. Baron, not only in the US, even in the UK and around the world, their brainwashing is no longer working for them. The CW service was dull and boring. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The Commonwealth service, right? I got that to watch. Oh, the Commonwealth service. You call it Commonwealth service. Some people say it was a funeral. It's hard to tell which was which. I hadn't seen faces that grim since I watched that movie, The Trials of Nuremberg. I mean, I hadn't seen anything like that since 12 Angry Men. I don't know when I've seen more grim faces in one room than that Commonwealth service. I mean, it was as dull as dishwater. It was lackluster. Let me see. I'm Jamaican and I haven't seen anything on Royal Visit. Believe me, I've been checking. Novi, thank you for saying that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm hoping that all of this is going to just blow up in Cambridge's faces and that it's going to be a complete and other. Well, I'm just kidding. I do hope that it's a big dud and that nobody comes out and nobody cares. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know how I fixed my mouth to try to make it sound like I was. I don't care about them Cambridges. I hope it's all a big dud and that they leave quickly. And even better for you all, I hope they just don't show up. I hope that they find some big excuse at the last minute why they can't go. Okay. Haven't been on one of the haven't been on one of the trains in a long time. Usually driving to New York, but decided to try the train. I am loving it. Listening to Baron while you travel. What is better than that? Sonia Johnson, thank you. I'm glad I can keep you company. Miss Squad and Baron, let me see. I have been dealing with the death of my baby brother, Rick. Please pray for me and family. Greatly appreciate everything you do for the Sussex family and others who need support. Well, what is it? Ram? Is it Ram? Do you pronounce it Ram Deal? I'm sorry about your loss, and I'm glad that that you're here, that we can take your mind off of things, if only for a moment. We will keep you in our prayers. And yes, we are always looking out for the Sussexes, and we will be praying for you and your family. Thank you so much for telling us that. Okay. Hey, Ronnie Vanna, I'm glad you're here. Better late than never. The Sussexes truly love one another. They just want to spend their lives together, take care of their children, and do good in the world. It's a pity the unroyal family has a problem with that. It is. And that's why I am here to set the record straight. And whenever possible, I can. I won't say that I will. Well, I'll set the record straight. And if the way I can find something like, I don't know, this to, just kind of tickle our funny bone, I'll do that. That way, it doesn't sting as much to have to deal with their pettiness. Okay, let me see. Okay, Will and Kate are now holding hands and looking dreamingly into each other's eyes. Didn't they say Meghan was love bombing Harry? Of course. Is it Zara James? So the Cambridges are trying to sell themselves as so in love and so in touch with one another. And the reason why is because of the trip to Jamaica, the trip to the Caribbean. They can't go to the Caribbean looking like this, because if they do, it will remind everyone of Diana and Charles when they went to, was it Japan, and they would barely even notice one another. So they don't want to have that same PR disaster when they're on the road. So the last thing they want is for the public to think that there is trouble in the Cambridge household. And so they're going to try to avoid those glaring glances like this and so on. And they're going to try to sell it as they are deeply in love and they just want to go and check on the people in Jamaica and where else they're going, Belize and someplace else. But yeah, nice if they can make that happen for the world. But we all know the truth, because everyone can see their fakery. Yes. Well, Baron, when will bring us up to date on Levy Jean and the black belt with Big Bucklehead. The only ones buying the royal family exceptionalism are the trolls, derangers, and let me see, the right other UK loyalists. Thank you for that, Mo Shannon. Elaine Parker says, sending love and prayers to you all. Condolences to your family. Thank you for saying that, Elaine Parker. All right. Okay, very far behind. I'm going to do a deep scroll so I can get up to date. When they go to Jamaica and visit Bob Marley Museum, they should play Redemption Song and Buffalo Soldier or them. Yeah, I hope they do. The Sussexes won the Making the World Better competition on many levels, rather. The unroyal remainers are working harder, albeit pretending, than they ever have. Keep it up. Yeah, they're actually making them work. They're actually making the royal family do some work, especially those two on the screen who are known as being very lazy. Like right here, Amy Andrews says the Cambridges took hiatus from working for 11 good years. This is why they are so clueless, laziness and lack of experience. Plus, they just so entitled. Yeah, they are very entitled. Okay, wow, I'm behind. Okay, let me see. I've been saying it from day one. When Harry and Meghan first met, Meghan was so much like Princess Diana until I thought that she was Princess Diana in reincarnation. Okay. All right, so let me go to the next slide, and I'm going to get rid of the Cambridges, and Let me see. Yeah, it's been an hour and 21 minutes. I need to keep this moving if you guys don't mind. Don't want to get too far behind. How do I make them go away? Go away, go away. How do I get rid of them? Hold on, you guys. I got it. I got it. There we go. Okay, so Dr. Shola has been triggered. Dr. Shola, a racehorse, something you can see it up there. I can't say the word, of course, for monetization reasons. Better a you know what than an ill-educated, ungrateful white woman like you, Lisa Mack. Imagine denigrating the great country of India to take a R word swipe at me. Where would Britain and the West be without talent and stolen wealth from Asia and Africa? Yeah, so like, where would Britain and the West be without the stolen and wealth and talent from Asia and Africa? So anyway, this deranger um, decided to go after Dr. Shola. Exactly my thoughts. Well, Dr. Shola, hashtag the R word, is keeping her out there and making a living for it. Her so called credentials are very suspect. Could these multitude of degrees have been bought in India? Really, Lisa? Really? Are you really going there? So, this is what they did with Barack Obama and so many other people. When a person of color has credentials, it is very necessary to not challenge them as lacking intelligence rather. The best thing to do is to challenge the credentials themselves, to make it sound like that somehow something nefarious happened and that they bought their credentials or they faked their credentials. They couldn't possibly have actually gotten a good education. I mean, how could they? After all, they're people of color. This is what Lisa Mack is trying to say. So Dr. Shola, who has defended everyone of every race, horses, creed, and color, racehorses. Okay, I said racehorses, right? Um, she has defended everyone, including the Cambridge kids. When there is a wrong, she tries to right it. She doesn't discriminate. And yes, she has plenty credentials under her belt. That's why she's Dr. Shola, right? And so this Lisa Mack, who probably don't have a whole lot going for her, decided to take her on because she wanted to challenge Dr. Shola's credentials as a way to discredit her or put her down. Of course, that's not going to work because I wouldn't care if Dr. Shola was a dental hygienist. She is always going to be one of the smartest people in the room. It does not matter. If she worked at McDonald's, she would still be one of the smartest people in the room. It's not just a formal education that makes a person intelligent, it's what's in their heart, it's what their life experience is, it's what knowledge they pursue. Doesn't take a degree to do that, but she just happens to have all of that and the credentials to back it up, the credentials to make it official. And Lisa Mack can't take it. So, what else can she do besides try to tear her down by questioning her credentials? And what Lisa is doing is hoping that other people will pick up on that, which I'm sure that's an ongoing thing, is that people have probably been trying to go after her credentials for years as though she's some kind of usurper and not an educated woman of color. So, your thoughts, please. I'm going to take a look at these few comments before I move on. Baron, the Narnians, Narnians are losing the battle. More of their stars are choosing to marry black women. Tom Hiddleston of Loki fame has just propped to a black woman. I saw those photos. Nice, right? They are going to be fuming. Yes, they're going to call him a you know what trader, the R word trader, like they did with Harry. Hi, Church Nelly. Okay. Join the chat. Nice, Marilyn King. Thanks for joining. Thank you. The Sussexes are really giving the Chambers family uncomfortable and unsecured. Will and Kate are frustrated now because the Sussexes just expose their laziness. Well, you know, the Queen called Kate lazy a long time ago, and the tabloids ran the articles again and again, and the palace did not bother to dispute those stories, which means that it is likely true. Something that devastating, and they didn't decide to correct it, then that means it's probably true. Does anyone else think Kate has had some work done? Do we think she had some work done? Now, why in the world would you ask a question like that? What makes you think she had some work done? Just what makes you think that she had something done to that face? Huh? That is very natural. It's so natural that if she ever uses airport security, there will be a SWAT team surrounding her to figure out exactly what she's concealing. That's how natural it is. It's so natural that if you poke her on the cheek, it will take a month for the indentation to pop out again. That's how natural it is. It's so natural that if it wasn't a part of her now, you could easily use it to fill a pothole or to spackle holes in the plaster. That's how natural it is. So, yes, what makes you think that she's had some work done? I refuse to believe it. Until I know better, I'm going to say nay. She has not had any work done. That is her natural. Okay, let me move on. Oh man. As you can see, I didn't really have to think about that. It just came out. No, but in spite of this speculation, I can't confirm or deny that she's had some work done. I really don't know. Now, at one point, the palace did come out and say that they were angry because people suggested that she had some work done, but I don't know that to be true. I just know it looks like it, but I don't know that to be true. Okay, next. Let me do that. I am angry at Black people who allow themselves to be used as tokens in the royal family agenda to make themselves not look so much like racehorses. Family, let me see, Commonwealth service. I rarely see Black people seated that close. Yeah, crazy tracker, like the girl with the Afro puffs, right? Did you see the girl with the Afro puffs? It was about 3 people couldn't even see the service because they put her up front. This girl had the big old 1970s Afro puffs. Okay, let me see. May your brother rest in eternal peace, celebrate his life, and let his legacy rise in abundance. Thank you, J Blogs. Blah, 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 blah. Let me get here. Let me see. Commonwealth thing. Did it? Chuck went overboard. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Oh, it's so many. Okay, I'm gonna have to move forward as much as I can. Her photos are Photoshop. That's why some days she looks haggard, and other days her face is smooth. Now they are limiting the photos at her engagement, so the look is consistent. Yep. Okay. These racehorses are always questioning women of color's credentials. Tucker Carlson tried that with Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm not surprised. There are recessions. I mean, this is a recession, and royal visits abroad are very expensive for the host country. The pandemic has left a lot of countries' economies very fragile. Why are these two suddenly go to the Caribbean? Because they need the attention, they need to look important, and they don't want Jamaica to sever ties. That's why. That is exactly why. Okay, so I am so far behind you guys. Let me do this and let me get rid of that. So, despite being the most challenging year, Sentebale is doing rather well. The charity secured in 2021 an income of £3.13 million compared to the £2.39 million in 2020. Harry's donation of $1.5 million has been received, but will we'll include in next year's report. Okay, Harry's donation of $1.5 million has been received, but will be included in next year's. Okay, I got that. Okay, so yeah, let's not forget Harry pledged a very substantial donation. So this squatty says it has been received. I didn't actually look at the entire report. But there it is available online, I believe, if you guys care to take a look at it. But yes, so Sentebale is doing very well in spite of the pandemic, and I think you can say we're in a global recession, right? And there is lots of inflation, and in spite of that, Sentebale is doing incredibly well. So, cheers to Harry for that. Okay, now let me blah 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 my way through here because I am dragging along here. I do apologize for that. I know I'm like way behind. Let's see. Not too bad. It's an hour 33 minutes, 34 minutes. Not too bad. Okay. I just want to make sure I can get everything in under 2 hours if at all possible. Okay, so Most Shannon says, crazy, I totally agree. And they do use us as props. They've obviously taken a page out of Trump's playbook. Yeah, Most Shannon, that is very true. Trump has done that time and time again. He just loves people of color when he's trying to make himself look like he's all that. I know she did it when she was pregnant with William and not Harry, because William is the devil child and Harry is not. Phyllis Johnson, I don't know what that's about, but okay. I'm sorry, I probably missed something. I do apologize. Okay. Haven't you heard it is the Jubilee year? So the young royals need to get among peasants to remind them why they won't actually be coming to the picnic they will be paying for. Yes, yes, yes. Kate looks like she could be Meghan's mother. was looking at the Fab Four interview, and when they left the stage and said in a audience, Meghan and Kate was sitting together. Lord, Kate looks so old. Yeah, all of that conspiring late into the night takes a toll on a person, I think. All of the Sussex's patronages continue doing well even after 2 years of the pandemic. Well, I could say virus. 2 years of the virus. Amazing how organizations can thrive if grifters aren't slagging off resources. Yeah, that is very true, because a lot of those royal patronages that are not in the Harry and Meghan universe are doing very, very poorly right now. Some of them have had to fold, I heard. Okay, so let me see. You can't fake love. Either you have it or either you don't. They definitely do not have it. They could barely look at one another. All right. Annie Bullard, I'm so glad you're here. I am so sorry that somehow you got blocked. I saw that. I was like, how in the world did that happen? Especially when I know I had just saw you. I'm just like, why is she not able to get through? Okay, trigger warning, you guys. Trigger warning. No, I did not say Tigger. Tigger was a horse. I said trigger, not Tigger. Trigger warning, not Tigger the horse. You guys, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to talk about this, but it deserves mentioning for one reason and one reason alone. I want you all to brace yourselves for more of it. Now, this shows that the talking points used by the tabloids are spread throughout all of the haters in Narnia, at all the tabloids. I don't know where the talking points originate. Harry slapped, Harry slapped in the face, Queen. Harry slapped in the face to the Queen, and has he been got by the California goblins? I don't know what they're talking about over his Europe plans. The California goblins? What is that? All this plus lots more in our Unbeatable Palace Confidential Royal Talk Show. Okay, so this headline is to pull you into that talk show, which some of y'all may have seen pop up on your Twitter. I'm not Twitter, but on your YouTube channels. They have that talk show, which I beg you not to watch. But Harry slapping the face to the Queen, that is to grab your attention. And then, okay, so that was in the fail. Now you can see what I mean. This is how they cooperate with each other. Royal Family Live, Prince Harry slams over slap in the face of Queen with latest move. What move? Because he's not going to Philip's memorial? Harry went to the funeral. This memorial is for people who couldn't make it to the funeral. It's for people who need to be seen for the sake of being seen. Harry has had a lifetime of relation with Prince Philip. Philip is not going to be there. Philip is in a vault down in the basement of the, or tomb, if you will, of St. George's Chapel. The Queen is not going because she doesn't want to. I believe if the Queen did not have issues with mobility, she still wouldn't go. The Queen didn't even go see him in the hospital. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited, but this is slap in the face. That is weaponizing the Queen's age. That is trying to imply that there is some type of elder abuse taking place. When, of course, we all know that is not true. So they are weaponizing the Queen's age yet again to try to create this scenario where Prince Harry, and of course, if the Queen doesn't make it to the Jubilee, meaning that, I'll just say it, if the Queen dies tomorrow, the implication would be that Harry broke her heart. This is all a setup, right? This is all a setup. Okay, so it's not likely that the Queen is going to go and join Philip anytime soon, although I'm sure the tabloids are hoping for that. But I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon. She seems to be recovering from whatever, and she is receiving the best of care. That being said, this entire story or stories are designed to hurt Harry, designed to try to diminish the impact that is going to come from the Invictus games, to try and keep the attention on the Cambridges, to make it seem as though the Cambridges are just going to do the Queen's duty. In place of the Queen, they are going out to the Commonwealth, whereas Harry is going off gallivanting to The Hague to party it up with the Invictus people. That is the narrative here. That is what those glaring headlines are implying is that the Sussexes are somehow being irresponsible, and that Harry has once again blindsided the Queen, hurt the Queen, and in this case, Harry has slapped her in the face. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, but there will be more of this. My prediction is the lead up to the Invictus Games and during the week of the Invictus Games, there's going to be all type of salacious headlines designed to try to tear the Sussexes down. They want Harry there to watch his every move, make all kinds of drama, and then blame the Sussexes for this. Let me see. They are thirsty as a frappuccino for Harry while bad-mouthing Harry at the same time. Yeah, they want Harry there for the clickbait. No one supported Harry or came to visit him apart from Fergie's kids. Let me see. Why should a family that tried to destroy his life and his wife be any concern of his? True. Okay, I'm going to scroll back just a little bit. Me too. They want Harry there. Okay, I'm sorry. I saw that already. Hey, that happened to me. Okay. Thank you. Well, you know, I hope she kicks the... Okay. All right. Daily Fail knows how to get attention. Harry not going to the memorial, so what? He will be at The Hague for the Invictus. Like so many people, he got to work. He does have a job. If any of the recent call and talk shows on Twitter are an indication, using Harry and Meghan to drive interest doesn't translate into people hating the Sussexes. Quite the opposite on recent ones I saw. Diane Hawkins, I get little glimpses of the morning talk shows from the Twitter. And I agree with you. The hate campaign is not working out so well. Least of all, not as well as they would try to lead us to believe. And they're getting very frustrated. And these headlines let you know that they are getting very desperate to try to win over the haters, or to try to create new haters and try to control the headlines. Okay. Because, you know, the Invictus Games, that's going to be big news in the U.S. Big news. If Harry is not allowed to see his grandmother because of security being denied to him and his family, it is all the royals' family and British tabloids' fault. Phyllis Johnson, if Harry goes to the Prince Philip Memorial, whatever, if he goes, there is no promise that he will see the Queen. Don't forget, people. Please, y'all, squatties, don't forget this. Harry said to Oprah that the Queen invited him to see her, and that when he got there, someone called his aide and said the Queen's diary doesn't allow for a visit today, tomorrow, or the rest of the week. She is completely booked up. And so you will not be allowed to see her. And the only time Harry was able to visit with the Queen on that return trip to the UK was in the presence of William and Charles. And so there is no promise, and the tabloids know this. They know this already. There is no certainty that Harry would have an opportunity to see his grandmother. His relations with his family is not like our relations with our family. They don't resemble each other in any way except for the idea that they were all born of the same blood. Other than that, there's not much of a connection. Harry has to make an appointment to see the Queen. Everybody in the family, I'm assuming, except for perhaps Charles, has to make the appointment to see the Queen. So he could go or not go. It doesn't matter. I don't believe that they are going to let him near the Queen. If you want to see the Queen, You have to be someone there for a photo op. Yep. Someone for a photo op. Other than that, you will not get a chance to get near her. Going against the world, and they are against the tabloid media, royal rota, and some members of the royal family and the Markles. I would not listen to the journalists. Okay. Cookies and Cream says the unroyal family wants to shame and bully Harry to return back to the UK. They want him back in the fold to use and abuse him. The British R-word, the R-word British press need him for revenue. I'm sure that's what it really comes down to, is the clickbait. And Sister says, if Will and Kate go to Jamaica, talking about all we can give is a smile and a wave. If they were in the projects, they would be run out of town. What is the point of the Commonwealth if they cannot help? Donna Black says Netflix showed that Prince Charles had to make an appointment to see the Queen also. Oh, thank you, Donna Black. There you go. Even Charles has to make an appointment. So as I said, it's not like he can just go and instantly he's granted an audience with the Queen. That family does not work like that. And the tabloids know this already. And so they're going to use these headlines to try to draw the eyes to that whatever talk show thing that they have, where they sit around and pretend like they don't want to talk about the Sussexes, when everything they talk about eventually leads to Harry and Meghan. All right, so moving on. Oh, 850 people. Okay, so they want to say Harry slapped the Queen in the face. Harry slapped the Queen in the face. At least he didn't go over there and do that. Now, I can't prove it. It's all alleged. But let me see if there's anybody who recently tested positive 2 days before the Queen tested positive. And then to try to put a spin on it, they claim that there was some outbreak at Windsor Castle. There was no outbreak at Windsor Castle. The outbreak came from old sausage fingers, in my opinion. I don't know it to be true. I can only do a timetable to say that he came to visit. 2 days later, he tested positive. And then they said the Queen will be watched. They're observing the Queen. They wouldn't say yay or nay as to whether or not she was positive until they finally came along some 5 days later to say, oh, the Queen's got it. And then the next day, there was an outbreak at Windsor Castle. Let me see. What could the possible source have been that caused her to test positive? I don't know. Was it Charles? Oh, excuse me, my sinuses. I mean, after all, the Queen is surrounded by a lot of people at Windsor, so it could have been anyone. Charles. Oh, I'm sorry. Goodness mercy me, oh my. Charles. Oh, what is in the air? Charles. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, that is the timeline that I have established. Recollections may vary, but I think that my timeline is pretty solid, and I'm going to assume that I have the correct timeline. He visited. 2 days later, he was positive. A day or two after that, the Queen, they wouldn't say whether there was, they said she was just being observed, right? Okay. Receipts. It's all in the papers. But the only thing that I find inconsistent is the idea that there was an outbreak. I don't believe it. Charles. Okay. I mean, come on, you guys. Better a fictitious slap in the face, a non-existent slap in the face, than something like that, right? You know, let people think that you've done something to me, even though we know that Harry hasn't done anything to her, as opposed to me showing up at your door. I mean, you showing up at my door, and then Charles, and then all of a sudden I get sick. Charles. Oh my goodness. That was the worst acting since Camilla went to that women's shelter and pretend like she was crying. That was the worst acting since Camilla went to the Ukrainian church and pretend as though she was crying. Just bad theater. That was awful theater. Okay. Charles says you sound almost like a true advisor, a tapestry of D.L. Hughley, the comedian who don't bite his tongue to tell the ultimate truth. His blogs are the phenomenals. Okay. Well, thank you. That is a true compliment. Charles. It's insane that Britain and the British royal family can't forgive the debt of Jamaica owes to the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund, if I'm correct, when they also don't want to give reparations for the suffering they caused. As part of the IMF, they have the power to. That is a great point, because if they forgive that debt, it could lead to a lot of prosperity for Jamaica. So, with that as a consideration, I say sever those ties. Persephone's? Oh, that's a pretty name. Okay, claims to be a puppet of men in gray suits. It seems it seems as though they have stripped her of her power if she cannot even see her own grandson. Shaking my head. Okay. The super spreaders. It's like a band, right? It's like a rock band. Ladies and gentlemen, the super spreaders. Charles. 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 Ugh. Okay. How I gotta stop doing that. Hit Charles. Okay, I got that out of my Charles system. Charles. Okay, the audacity of the British tabloids want Prince Harry taking his children to see the Queen when she may be contaminated with the virus. Yes, why would you want that? Why would you want? Keep your family away from them. They're carriers, allegedly. Okay, how could Harry slap the Queen in the face when he is considered dead, allegedly, in their book? They are trying to whip a dead horse. Um, now, I am very uncomfortable with the analogy whipping a dead horse, because it conjures up so many things when I hear someone say whip a dead horse. Do you see why I keep this photo handy? So please, for the sake of animal rights and animal welfare, please never use the term whip a dead horse. Please. You don't know what that does to me. I mean, I get so emotional about the idea of somebody whipping a dead about whipping a dead horse. Can you understand me? Thank you. Anyway, it must be Friday. Anyway, what was I trying to say here? Okay, Kenitha Ash. Kate is hoping that after her marriage to William, she will fall in love with her. That he will fall in love with her, but it didn't happen. That's because he loves himself too much. Hi, everyone, squaddies. Please fly high with our faves, Prince Harry and the Duchess Meghan, Daily Fail and the Unroyal Inbred family, and their minions are gutter idiots. Thank you for reminding us about that. It's strange how the Queen got the C word when Prince Android was in the news for settling the I don't want to say those out loud. It took all the attention away from that settlement. Yes, the timing could not be more impeccable, right? Yes, thank you for reminding me about that because I forgot about the timing of that story. Let me see. Let me see. The Queen, who is surrounded by golden pianos, resting in a 540-room palace and a 1,000 years, no, I'm sorry, 1,000 acres and Invictus, a sport to support veterans who have put in so much effort for years. Is that even debatable? According to the British tabloid press and according to the shall we say, royal supporters, the people who support that family, it is more important that the Queen has several houses to visit throughout the year, even though she'll probably never leave Windsor again. But it's so important that that family has more rooms than they could ever use in a lifetime, while so many other people are going homeless. Now, did I hear somewhere that the Belgian royal family is housing some of the migrants or immigrants or the people escaping from Ukraine? Did I hear that the Belgian royal family is actually going to house some of those people? I swear I thought I saw that somewhere. But if somebody can, go ahead and take a look at that, would you? Okay. Beverly Isidore, the royal family is trying their best to destroy Prince Harry and his family. That is why they will not approve security for him. If the Queen is the head of Britain, why can't she approve security? That is a good question. I think she just doesn't care. Oh, so I did hear that. Okay, that's what I heard. I heard that the what do you call it? The Belgian royal family was going to house some of the people displaced by the war in Ukraine. Okay, I'm going to go to the next slide. Let me do that. Condemn them. Harry and Meghan call out the fan abuse at will. Richard Eden is fuming because someone, I guess, hurt his feelings. What I'm referring to is Richard Eden fumed on Twitter after Sussex fan account with the handle Royals Sussex trolled him for testing positive for the pandemic. The Twitter user shared a meme with the words, "If he dies, he dies." The royal commentator, Mr. Eden, wrote, Prince Harry and Meghan do have some deeply unpleasant fans. It might be time for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to condemn them. #royal. Okay, so as you can see there, at Royals Sussex, I swear, no, I swear it wasn't me. When I saw that, I was like, what? No. You know, when you use that high voice, that means you are faking outrage. No, me. I don't know how that happened. And at Royals underscore Sussex, that is not my handle. Mine is at Royal Sussex underscore. Yeah, so I am at Royal Sussex _ very different from this one, but not so much so. But yeah, it looks like me, but it's not. But let me show you what upset him so much. You guys remember that? That is Dolph Lundgren, who was in the movie in that Rocky 2. Yeah, I think, or was it the first Rocky movie? He played the Russian in the first Rocky movie. And FYI, Dolph Lundgren and I share the same birthday. So there is a connection there. There's two connections. There is at Royals with a S _ Sussex. Okay, sounds very close to Royal Sussex. And then, of course, the fact that Dolph Lundgren and I share the same birthday. So those are the only two connections that I have to Richard Eden. And of course, maybe my sentiments about him testing positive could be similar, but not necessarily the same. Sadly, I had to pull out of after testing positive for the pandemic, but I look forward to watching a no doubt sparkling edition of #Royal Talk, Show Palace Confidential. That's that crazy show that he's on. Okay, so that's what he tweeted. And then somebody followed up with this meme or GIF or whatever, GIF, saying, if he dies, he dies. So it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I don't know that. I guess I could have a phantom Twitter, but I don't. That's not me. I don't usually tweet the royal reporters. As a matter of fact, I never tweet any of the royal reporters ever. I don't care enough about them to tweet them. So it wasn't me. Although it looks very similar, it certainly is not. Okay. Let's see. So he called out the squad, but not the hate channels. Of course. Of course. Tell hateful Richard Eden many happy returns as he recuperates from the big germy bug. What makes him think that the Sussexes read his tweets anyway? Exactly. Let me see. If it's Dick Eden, he must have heard it wrong. Ah, good one, Denise. Yeah, because he certainly didn't hear what Egghead said when he mentioned Africa and Asia. So yeah, that's a good one. He probably heard it wrong. Oh, cool. Look who's here. I think Hateful Richard is a troll. It's one of his accounts. Y'all, it's the Duchess of Impact. I hope y'all are watching her channel. The Duchess of Impact is receipts, receipts, receipts. Do you hear me? If you need to lay out the case to make right the wrong, you have to go to Duchess of Impact, okay? Go to the Duchess of Impact and find all your receipts. It's tax time, right? So you're going to be looking for receipts anyway. Well, if you really want some receipts, go and watch the Duchess of Impact. I'm just saying. Okay, very cool. I'm glad you're here. So let me go to the next slide, you guys. Okay, I'll take this one and then I'll move on. It's over 2 hours, just what I was trying to avoid. Richard Eden must be doing badly financially. That he seems to want to provoke the Sussex fans intentionally so they can make him trend like Prince William is a liar. Crazy Trekker, I had to bang on my desk. That is a brilliant analogy. That is brilliant. Thank you for that. I hadn't thought about it like that. I thought he was just, being Dickie Eden, but no, thank you. Thank you. That is absolutely brilliant. Love that. See why they didn't anticipate the Sussex squad. They didn't know that we would sit back and put 2 and 2 together. And of course, that we would have receipts. Receipts. Okay? They didn't expect that. They didn't expect us to promote our faves and to highlight what the Sussexes have achieved, which, of course, you could find that on Duchess of Impact. Okay? They weren't anticipating this stuff, but it's here, and they have to deal with it. We're in their face, and it's nothing they can do about it. Okay, so moving on to this topic, which has taken over quite a bit of the news cycle. Solidarity March for Child Q, calling for dignity in education. Hashtag protect Black children. Yeah, the other one was a hashtag. Sorry about that. A vigil for all Black girls and boys dehumanized in our education and policing system, which, of course, we're no stranger to that here in the United States. I could say several things that remind me of this case, but I won't do that because right now we are focusing on a child who has been traumatized over a false claim or suspicion. So that is one way that you could show support. The other is to go to the website change.org. End of adultification of Black girls and policing in our schools. Hashtag protect Black girls. So I took a screenshot. There is so much more to this, but I only took the top portion just to make sure that I got it out there. If you want to be more proactive about this very traumatizing story, here's a couple of ways that you can participate. So I hope to remember, as you know, I'm a baby boomer, so I might forget, but I hope to remember to put a link on the community tab. We'll see how it goes. I will do my best. By the time I'm done, I'm usually quite dehydrated and quite hungry. So the first thing I'm going to do is run to the kitchen and try to drink a gallon of water or something. But I will try to remember to do that very soon after I get myself together. So there's that to consider if you want to, make your voices heard. I'm sure there's some other things that you can find that will give you a chance to make your feelings known. So that was a pretty difficult story for a lot of reasons. And even the thought of it just triggers some very, very tough emotions, especially for parents. For parents, this is particularly tough. And if you happen to be a parent of a child of color, children of color, so much so because you know how the police sometimes or often treat children as adults. That's a very painful thing to realize, that your child could be roughed up and handcuffed or whatever as though they're adults. Whereas we just had an example here in the United States where the police broke up a fight between two boys the same age, one black, one white. The white kid was told to just sit on the sofa in this lounge area, while the other cop put his knees on the kid's back and neck and handcuffed him. Although the kid was showing absolutely no resistance, this young man was pushed to the floor and sat upon while he was handcuffed, and the white kid was allowed to just observe from a distance. The other cop even turned her back on the white kid, while the male cop roughhoused tackled the black kid. So again, we're no stranger to this type of policing here in the United States. I tend to believe we invented that type of policing here in the United States. So make your voices heard in some way or another. But yeah, that information is available. Let me see. And I think that was the end of the slides. I think that was it. That was it for today. So we have run over the 2 hours. It was a lot to cover. The conversation moved along here and there, and I do appreciate that from everyone. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So if you guys have any thoughts, please gather your thoughts before we go. Let me give love and respect and honor to our faves, which, oh gosh, let me get rid of him. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. How in the, oh, I know what I did. I accidentally hit the arrow button. Okay, so let's give love, honor, and respect that is to our faves. The Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, and the Queen of Everything, Doria. The mothers of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, those are the women that have made that union possible. And it is their guidance that have made their union so strong throughout these years. So thank you, moms, for doing that. Okay, and here's our okay, let me see. Well, let's see who from the royal household will participate in Solidarity March. Yeah, I wonder if unmasked Kate will go to the vigil. Remember how she went to that other vigil when the police told people not to gather, when the police told people to wear your mask, and she showed up with no mask at an illegal gathering. And of course, when she showed up, she was ushered right to the front where she can get right in front of the camera that was waiting across from her. If you guys remember that, Duchess Doolittle did that. Just to make sure that she can make her voice heard and that people would know that she stood in solidarity. So, Diane Hawkins, thank you for reminding me about that because she was all over the place and she didn't get arrested. Although, after she left, several people at the vigil were arrested for illegal gathering, but only after the Duchess of Doolittle left. Okay, I remember that. Okay, yes, Baron, that situation upset me. The white kid was the offender. The black teen was protecting the victim. Yeah, yeah, you're speaking about the two boys. And just the other day, there was a black kid who had cotton thrown at him, and in a very weird and bizarre bullying that took place in a high school here in the United States. The white kid threw cotton on top of the black kid, and then I believe he was pretending as though the black kid was being whipped, as though he was some type of master or overseer. It was absolutely upsetting that that happened, and I'm trying to contain myself as I mention this. So we have a lot of work to do when it comes to grade school kids and the way that they interact. This is why the critical race theory is so important. Currently, I don't think it's being taught at any high schools, but it should. It really should. Is there a way that you can put Diana and Doria's pictures side by side? Yes, Annie Bullard, that is a fantastic idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Thank you. Well, I tell you, the squad definitely take care of me. You have given me a great idea, and I will do that. Thank you. Thanks a lot for impeccable work, Baron. We really appreciate and enjoy the podcast always. Myra, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad for the work that I can do for the squad, for the Sussexes, and everybody else, even for the Derangers. So when they need someone to hate, they can have a target. The police officers here in the U.S. hate the black millennials because they have no fear of them. So now they are trying to make the kids of today fear them. You got that right. Yeah, and also they got cameras. That's something we didn't have in the past. They got cameras. The only thing good about the last administration is that he brought out the racehorses. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. We know who you are. Sheila Watson, amen, amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you guys, we have gone over the 2 hour mark. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, because we have covered so much in the past 2 hours. Um, and I really appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the thumbs up. And also for, let me see here. Let me take a glance here. Yes. Okay, that's it then. Who wants the last word of the day? The last word of the day. Thank you, Faith. Okay, enjoy the podcast as always. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Novi. All right. Let me see here. Don't Start says, thanks for making my morning, Baron and squad. The day goes by faster when I have you around. Aw, thanks. Thanks. Some people say I make minutes seem like hours and hours like days. So it's not always the same effect on everybody. I have had several people. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate the compliment. Let me see. We need more people like Dr. Shola to call out those losers. I'm sure India has more highly educated people than the UK. My boss worked past retirement to put young Indians through college med school. Sunshine, that is phenomenal. Thanks for sharing that. And you're right. Just so that we're all on the same page, science started south of Europe. It didn't start in Europe. It started away from Europe. The Europeans managed to gather a lot of science from Africa and Asia and brought it back to Europe, like, for instance, gunpowder, um, and so many other things. All of those things come from other places. And let's not forget that while the Europeans were running around in loincloths, the Arabs, the Arabians, the Arabs were fantastic scientists and such. So, yes, there's a lot that everybody has contributed to the world, good and bad. Hopefully, in the future, there will be more good. But yeah, we need to remember that, because it just happens to be true. And that's one of those things that is conveniently omitted from the curriculum in a lot of schools, where they try to forget about the contribution of people of color. But we won't let them do that. Okay. All right. Diane Hawkins says, how can I start my weekend without another glimpse of Rodeo Harry? I'm going to say, just for today, you'll just have to try to get along. And then maybe over the weekend, just maybe. Although I had something for Church Nelly. Let me see if I can find it. You reminded me of that. Thank you so much. Because Church Nelly seems to be in a bit of a state, I found something to share with Church Nelly. Oh, I'm not sure I should, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's why I wasn't on the slide, because I wasn't sure that I would share this, but I am going to do it. Thanks to Diane Hawkins. So this is for Church Nelly, if you're still here. Forgive me for doing this, but there you go. Church Nelly has this thing about kilts. And because she has this thing about kilts, I decided to snatch this photo from the interweb to share with Church Nelly and other like-minded squatties. Because I had this fear that at some point that someone would need to turn the hose on Nelly just to cool her off. So if Church Nelly is here, then that's for you, Church Nelly. If not, you missed it. Anyway, happy weekend, everybody. And for our last thought of the day, and please give me something that I don't want a compliment for me. I mean, a nice closing thought for everyone. Somebody. A nice closing thought for everyone. Anyone? Fish and chips originated. Oh, I didn't know that. Even national dish fish and chips originated somewhere else. It was stolen from Spain and Portugal. I had no clue. I had no clue. Okay. Oh, okay. So no final thoughts then. Okay, well then let's let that stand as the okay, thank you, Lydia. Now I'm going to get rid of the beefcake. Lydia says, have a blessed day, all. Thank you, Lydia. And now we are going to Ginger Avenger ourselves out of here. I love you all, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, and cue the Ginger Avenger. I wish I could get my thighs to look like that guy with the kilts on. If I could make my thighs look like that, if I wanted my thighs to look like that, I would have to ride my bike like from here to California and just maybe. I mean, who has thighs like that? Not me. my, I would like to believe that deep down underneath we all look like that, but we just don't. Oh well. I'm out, you guys.